Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real.
The real show is before the show starts. Get it? Wow. Oh, my goodness. Running around here. Yikes. And you know what I like to do? I like to have candles lit when I have the show. So, where are my candles? Where is my... Ah! And then when the music starts, I'm still running around, and all of a sudden everything calms down. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. Thank you for listening to that. Thank you for allowing me to just exhale and join you at the show. My name is Rebecca Norrington, Global Happiness Specialist. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing the show, Reality Spirituality, the truth about happiness. That's right, the truth about happiness, because a lot of information, a lot of beliefs about happiness is out there. It's just not true. And a lot of people are looking for happiness in all the wrong places. I know it's a cliche, but it is the truth. And that is why there is such angst, there's such stress, all of, I use that word stress, all of that, looking for that feeling of calm, that feeling of peace, that feeling of knowing that everything is going to be okay. Everything that is happening for a reason. Everything is happening to serve you. All of it. But how do we get to a place where we know that, we believe that, we practice that, we trust that? Because if you really, truly trust it and you practice trusting that everything that's happening to you, regardless of how it feels, guess what? You wouldn't have a problem with anything that happens. The practicing the trust that whatever is happening is supposed to happen is a definite, purposeful, not easy to do practice. But that's part of the practice. Now, when I say happiness specialist, let me just give you my definition of happiness. My definition is the ability to be at peace regardless of what happens and regardless of what doesn't happen. The ability to vibrate peace, the ability to be peace, the ability to have energy of peace regardless of the storms, regardless of what life throws at you. That's my definition of happiness. And the other thing I want to share, especially for my new people, is that happiness is a practice skill. Like any other skill, like any other practice, happiness is a practice skill. You know what else I'm finding out? Well, I've known this for a while. However, it's just becoming more and more clear. And if I didn't take this world so personally, which I do not take anything that the universe dishes out. At least I try not to take anything. Scratch that. I practice not taking anything personally. And what was my point? Oh, my goodness. The value. What I'm finding is, and it's something that I've known for a while, but it's just hitting home the older I get. that happiness is not valued. It's really not valued, because if it was valued, more people would be practicing it. More people would be into it. I mean, a lot of people want it. Yeah. So how many of you, if I ask a group of 1,000 people, how many of you would like to be happier? I would say that the majority would raise their hands. Yeah, everybody's interested in the happy market or the happy feeling. But who's actually doing the practicing? And that's what I'm finding, that this, it's a big gung ho, yay, let's go, heidi ho, until you find out what? Until you find out what, my dear audience? Until you find out that the practice requires, oh, do I even say it? Oh, geez, do I even say it? Put your seatbelts on for this, because it's going to be bumpy. There's going to be a lot of turbulence here, bumping up and down. Oh, it's not going to be a smooth ride. All of the work, all of the challenges are found. Oh, I can't even tell you. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to hurt you that bad. Oh, no. All right. This is going to sting, but you'll be okay. All of your challenges, all of your answers to solutions, everything can be found in the mirror, can be worked out in the mirror, can be shifted in the mirror. Your vibration, your energy, your perspective, your practice, your practicing trust, everything can be shifted. It all happens in the mirror. Woo-wee! And that's why, at least that's why I believe that this practice, when I say happiness is a practice skill, that this practice is lightly practiced because of where it has to be practiced. What? The practice is not practiced as much because the practice involves looking in the mirror. That's where the practice occurs. Who wants to look in the mirror? Who really wants to look in the mirror and blame and find solutions and say, yes, it's me, it's not them, it's me? Who wants to do that? I have a class that I'm teaching the truth about happiness. We're in our last week, and I asked my students last week. I said, so how do you view the world? How do you? And I'm asking you, my dear audience, how do you view the world? How would you describe the world? How would you describe the world that you see, the world that you're in, the world that you experience every moment? How would you describe it? Would you describe it as a place where you really be careful about trusting people, be careful about trusting, period. You're out in the world, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of people being irritated, there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of frustration, there's a lot of division, there's a lot of unrest, there's a lot of up and down, there's a lot of unknowing, there's a lot of uncertainty. How do you sum it all up for me, my dear audience? Sum it all up for me. And what do you come up with? How do you see the world with all of that explained? And let me throw some other things in. With all the magic, with all the synchronicities, with all of the coincidences. Not a coincidence, it's one coincidence. It's not a real coincidence. It's a it's a big coincidence. Coincidences can't be big or small. It's just a coincidence. Yes, I'm a Seinfeld fan. Sorry you had to hear that. All of the wonder, all of the things that just seem to come together without any effort. How do you look at the world? And how you look at the world really determines who you are. It's a real good blueprint for who you are and what you vibrate. Because when you do look out in the world and you see fear, or you feel fear, or you focus on fear, or what's wrong, or you make judgments, all of that, guess what? That's your contribution. I know I've said it a million times, but it's true. That's your vibration is your contribution. Your energy is your contribution. So when I talk about being happy, it's really about it's really a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's a vibration. It's a set point. And I've said it before, and I've said it a million times. And thank you for my regular listeners that's heard this a million times. But it can't be said enough. Because too often the people that talk about yes, I want to be happier, well, they're not acting like it. And it's really about acting. It's really about acting like it, walking it, not talking it, walking it. Okay, let me get back on topic. That means I have to put my glasses on. Let's see, where am I? Mirror, mirror on the world. Mirror, mirror on the wall. So how do you view the world? And that's a question only you can answer. How do you view the world? Scary, fearful? Are you concerned about the future? When I talk to a lot of people in the class or people that I come in contact with, and they're showing interest in wanting to be happier, meaning they sign up for the class or for one-on-one sessions, when that happens, and when I ask them that question, how do you view the world, it's amazing to me how a variety of people from all different cultures have answered this, and seeing the world in a state, in other words, recognizing that you reflect how you see the world. You are an actual reflection. You are a mirror of how you see the world. You navigate, you move through, you go through this life exactly how you are a reflection of, a mirror of how you view the world, your beliefs about what this world is offering in any particular moment. That's why it's so important to really get in that mirror, and do the work, meaning do the work of looking really deep. Not just looking on the surface and who are you? Well, let's see, what's my name? No, really looking deep and what do you believe in, and what are you deeply rooted in believing? Meaning is peace, happiness, is that valued to you? Or is it valued sometimes? Because what I'm finding is the happiness is valued when it's not around, when you can't feel it. The happiness is valued when you think you've lost it. Well, that's not always true, but sometimes it's true. Where's my happiness? When I'm feeling like crap, well, where's the peace? Where's the happiness? That's when you start looking for it, when you feel like you don't have it. And what I say is, and what I practice is, the practice means that you will always feel it. Even when you're feeling uncomfortable, even when those moments of, oh, why do I have to go through this? Going through life's problems, ups, downs, all of it, going through all of it. But there is a vibration of peace that never leaves you. That vibration of calm, that vibration of trust, that vibration of letting go, that vibration of knowing, okay, I can relax. The universe got me. Got me. And I use the term universe. Some people use the term God. Some people feel more comfortable using different terms, God, source, higher power. To me, a word is just a word. It's the energy behind it. It's the vibration behind it. It's the intention behind it. And when I say that, the reason why words, for me, I have let go of giving them power, in other words, eliminated all their power, is because when words have power, that means that words can be responsible for how you're feeling in any single moment. If you allow anything, a person, words, to have power, then that means you do not have power over how you are feeling in any particular moment, or what you're experiencing. In other words, you hear a word and now you're all of a sudden worked up into a frenzy. Oh, I get it. The majority of people are like that. I used to be like that too. Oh, a certain word, please, it would be over. I would be in some kind of mood, some kind of state of mind, some kind of mood, instantly. Oh, that word, that rubbed me the wrong way. Oh, that word pushes my buttons. Oh, my goodness, this second book that I'm writing, Program for Unhappiness, when I expose that it's impossible to be offended, it's impossible for a word to have power. I mean, I know we were programmed to believe that, and I know we were taught that, and I get it, and that there's a deep belief, but it's just not true. You can't tell me that letters put together, just random letters put together, has any kind of power over my vibration or over the universe or over anything. I know we were taught, but anyway, I digress. Ooh, I could get on to another topic in a minute. Okay, so back to the mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's responsible for it all? Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's responsible for it all? Well, who's responsible for what? You're responsible for your response. You're responsible for your energy. You're responsible for your vibration. You're responsible for how you interact with every single person on this planet. I don't care who they are. You are responsible for how you bring your energy to every conversation. And that's whether the person is in the room and you're talking about them or the person is not in the room and you're talking about them. Especially if you're saying something that is on a negative tip about someone. You know, the interesting thing is it's such a habit to negatively talk about someone, anyone, whether we know them or we don't. It's such a habit. I mean, I used to do it all the time. I used to spend most of my days talking about other people, talking about other people and what's wrong with them, right? I mean, what better way to spend my time is degrading and is demeaning and talking negatively about someone that I don't like or my ego doesn't like. And I'm saying this with all a wink now, because this is exactly who I used to be, talking about other people talking about other people negatively and just making a whole day of it. Who can I call to share? Oh, wow. Then I find something else negative. Who can I call to share this news? Oh, did you hear about? I mean, come on. Yeah. But the problem is that kind of behavior, I'm just speaking for myself, that kind of behavior subtracts from my peace, subtracts from happiness every single time. Why would I do it? Why would I knowingly do something? Why would I knowingly behave in a way that is taking away, subtracting from my happiness and peace? Why would I do that? It's crazy, right? Why would I do that? Why would I continue sharing bad news? Why would I continue talking negatively about someone else? Well, I know the answer for me. My answer for me is because my ego needs to be fed. My ego wants to be fed. My ego needs to talk about other people. My ego needs to have that power. Needs to have some sense of power. Yeah, let's talk about them. You know, the interesting thing about the ego is, especially when you put a spotlight on it, and you, hey, what are you doing now, ego? What's that? What are you focusing on now? Oh, what's wrong with someone else? Yes. And how they're just messing up? Yes. And how they don't know what they're doing? Yes. And how their beliefs are all wrong, and how I'm judging them, right? That subtracts from happiness, folks. Clear, evident, easy subtracting. Now, why would you do that? Why would you do that? And then why would you want to do that to someone else? See, because these people that share bad news, they need to have somebody to share it with. They need to have somebody else to. They need to have the other part of the puzzle. They need to have somebody's ears, and that's one of the reasons why. Personally, they're in my personal life. Excuse me. Hold on a second, audience. In my personal life, there aren't any people in my personal life that all they talk about is complaining and bad news. It's just so my question to you, my dear audience, is why would you, when I say you have a lot of responsibility, you have a lot of power, look in the mirror, why would you give that gift of bad news, of complaining, to someone that you claim that you love or care about? So let's go back to the beginning. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's responsible for it all? Well, you're responsible for how you respond. You are responsible for your perspective. You are responsible for your vibration, and you're responsible for your focus, and you're responsible for what you talk about and what you share. And you're responsible for judging and or not. You're responsible for flowing or resisting. You're responsible for being an example of what's light, what's truth, what's love, what's acceptance. You're responsible for either saying, this was a great day or this was a miserable day. Your response, isn't that powerful? And quite frankly, great day, miserable day. Life is, and I've said it a million times, life is the experience without the judgment. So even putting on miserable day, good day, miserable day, all those labels, we've talked about it. All labels subtract from happiness. So it was just a day, and I experienced a lot of stuff in this day. Wow, did I experience a lot of stuff in this day. Woo-wee, a lot. So when I say with great power comes great responsibility, you see how you, in any single moment, and I call it being out in public or being out in the world, and whether you're putting your trash in the trash can or you're just throwing it out the car window or you're just throwing it out onto the sidewalk. That's your vibration or your energy. Are you dumping your energy out into the world? Or are you putting your energy, your trashy energy? Are you putting that energy in the trash can? Are we eliminating our garbage, our spiritual garbage? Wow, I don't even know if that is a thing. Let me scratch that spiritual garbage because I haven't even thought about that. When I say spiritual garbage, what I meant was, let me scratch that. What I meant was there is a different vibration between the view of the world. Okay, let me just go very simple. The glass is half full or the glass is half empty. And there's a different vibration for each one of those. If you're vibrating that the world is half full, optimistic, positive, on and on and on, that's what you're contributing. Half empty, lack, problems. Wow, did you hear about what happened up in Portland yesterday? All of that. You're contributing, that's what you're contributing there too. So this is an active world, and you're always contributing, always. Your spirit, your flow, your energy, your vibe, always. There is never a time where you rest. Until you're asleep. It's more than a notion, living, being self-aware, conscious in every single moment. But when you practice it, it becomes part of you, part of your identity and who you are. Now, I just want to come back to this self-criticism. Because I said with great power comes great responsibility. It's also about how are you treating yourself. It's because the more accepting you are of you, how you treat yourself is also a reflection of how you treat others and how you view the world, how you treat yourself. It's a good, let's see. And it's not about what you do, because I was trying to tie it in with say you're eating blueberries versus eating potato chips. So it's not about what you do. It's about how you feel about you in every single moment. So I can have a bag of potato chips, and I can either feel good about having a bag. I mean, we all know that potato chips, not a lot of health value there, not a lot of nutrients in a bag of potato chips. So I can feel good about eating that bag of potato chips and not criticize myself and enjoy that moment or having a moment of eating potato chips and really enjoying it. Or I can eat a bag of potato chips and I feel bad about myself. I can feel guilty about eating it. I can feel, why did I do that? I know it's no good. So there's distinct ways you can feel about yourself in any single moment. And when you're able to look in the mirror and feel good and feel accepting, when I say good, it's a really total acceptance of you. That person in the mirror, total acceptance. In other words, you look at that person in the mirror and you smile. You want to smile and you want to give that person a hug and a kiss and a, yay, good job. Wow, look at you. Look at all that you've gone through, and look at where you are, and look at and just all the experiences, and feeling so much pleasure, happiness, joy about you, just being, just not what you do or did. It's not about you doing anything. It's just about who you are, the uniqueness of you, and how you are a gift, a unique gift to everybody on this planet, to every single person. Now, are you acting like, feeling like a gift? Usually sometimes I do. Sometimes I feel like a gift, and sometimes I don't. Well, let's talk about those times when you don't. And that's the time when I say mirror, mirror on the wall, who's responsible for it all. That's the time where you kick into your, what do they call that? When you kick into the, oh, geez, Louise, now I can't even think of the term. Let's see, hold on. Automatic gear, when you just shift into that. When you're driving a car, you can drive a stick shift. You just automatically do. Drive a two-wheeler, ride a two-wheeler, you automatically. So when I say when we are challenged, because those times happen, life is a challenge, is challenging. But when those challenges happen is when your automatic, what you practice, kicks in. Automatic look at that person in the mirror, proud, acceptance, whatever you're doing is A-OK, A+. There's a celebration. There is a embracing. There is a acknowledgement of the growth and who that person is in the mirror. I like you. I really, really like you. I like who you are. I like who you were. I like who you will be. I like you. I'm talking to myself in the mirror. I like you. And you can feel when you believe it or you don't. You can feel when you really believe that. You know what? You're A-OK. Because there's a vibration to that statement. You can feel it, and you will always be able to feel it when you practice. When I say practice, happiness is a practice skill. Well, what do you practice? What do you do? What's the practice? Well, it's a daily practice. You know that the more you practice, the easier it gets, the more peaceful you're going to feel, especially during those moments when you're challenged. And the first part of the practice just means eliminating those behaviors that subtract from happiness. And the second part of the practice is adding, nurturing those behaviors that add to your happiness. And we talked about what subtracts from happiness, and let me just go through a few because I get this question a lot. Let me just go through a few. of behaviors that subtract from happiness. Blaming anyone or any circumstance for the way you feel. Comparing yourself to anyone. Notice what someone else is doing. That's the same as being in someone else's business. Talking negatively about what someone else is doing. We talked about that. Thinking anything is serious, thinking anything is important. Wanting someone else to think what you think is important is important. I think this is important, and now I want you to think it's important. That's going to subtract from your happiness every single time. Sharing bad news or negative news for no reason other than I'm just sharing bad news. Giving power to words, having attachments, living in the past, living in the present. Living in the future. No, living in the past, living in the future. Trying to control anyone or anything outside of yourself. Assigning a label to someone or something, or any experience. I said, this is a good day, this is a miserable day. It's just a day. I'm having a day. I'm experiencing a day. How about this one? This is subtract, and I talk about this, and we all do this all the time. Rushing. It's a simple one. It's a simple one to practice. Let go of that rushing. If you start practicing one, and you get pretty good at it, the other ones will fall into place. The other thing is having regrets. I wish that this would have happened. Well, everything is unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to. All of it's unfolding perfectly. Thinking that this life has to be fair. This life isn't fair. It's not fair. And it's okay. It's okay that it's not fair. It's not fair in the animal kingdom. It's not fair. But people have a problem with it not being fair. And I'm here to tell you, it's not that the world is not fair is the problem, is that you think that it's a problem that it's not fair. The world is never going to be fair, ever. It's not fair in the animal kingdom that the weakest and the smallest get eaten. It's not fair in the animal kingdom that the new male lion finds a new pride, and then now all the cubs from the other male lion, you got to go. Time's up. Get the hell out of here. You better escape, or you're going to be my new lion cub dinner. Life isn't fair, but thinking that it is fair or needs to be fair or should be fair definitely is going to subtract from your happiness. You can just figure that, you can feel that one. Thinking that you're wasting time or something is a waste of time. Now, I know the program is not to waste time. We only have a limited amount of time. I totally get it. I know it. I got you. Yes. And it's true. There is a finite amount of time that we have as human in this human form on this particular planet at this particular time. There is a finite amount of time where I am in form. I am in a human form. Not going to be forever, finite piece of time. But wasting time. Is there even such a thing? Is there time? I know we're getting way, 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 way out there. But my point is to relax about this wasting time. Because when you think that you're wasting time, you cannot be happy at the same time. You cannot feel like you're wasting time and have any kind of peace about it. Just the term "I'm wasting time" brings no peace. When I say mirror, mirror on the wall, it cannot get any clearer than that. You have all the power. Mirror, mirror on the wall. You're responsible for controlling it all. How you feel, what you say, can only come from practice all day. Now I'm really getting bad. All right. Well, what are the takeaways today? The takeaways are, when I say mirror, mirror on the wall, looking in the mirror and really being able to be honest with self, and to say, and ask the universe for help. Hey, God, help me with this. I'm stuck. How can I? How do I? How can I find another perspective? How can I focus on something other than what's making me feel imbalanced? The practice is real, my dear audience. The practice is real, and it bears a lot of fruit. It's the only thing, the practice is the only thing that keeps me grounded in knowing and trusting that everything is in order and that everything that happens is happening to benefit me and to serve me, and the same with you. What do you see when you look in the mirror? What do you feel when you look in the mirror? Hopefully it's a smile, a big, big smile. Well, that's all we have for today's show. I want to thank you for listening. Reality Spirituality Radio, the truth about happiness, is heard every Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. Follow me on Twitter at RLNorrington. LinkedIn. My Instagram handle is Reality Spirituality. I have a few videos on YouTube. And my first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be purchased on Amazon.com. And my second book, Program for Unhappiness, is coming out sometime soon. Until next week, my dear audience, I want to remind you who you are. You are a physical extension of the universe. You're always changing. You're always evolving. Love is patient and love is kind. Be patient and be kind to yourself. Be your own best friend. Remember, you cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. It is about the journey. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality Radio with yours truly, Global Happiness Specialist Rebecca L. Norrington. And until next week, I want you to have a conscious week and remember that your experience in every moment is going to reflect on what you practice.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one.